Hello and welcome to the Player Pulse podcast, a bi-weekly podcast that looks into the video game related news, both big and small. Joining me, James Ross, otherwise known as Game Mirage on Twitch, is David Fraser, known as Throwback Games on TikTok, and Luke. Just Luke.
No other handle.
Just Luke.
Just me.
People won't know this, but we've been trying to do this podcast for so long and we finally got around to the first episode. However, before we actually jump into it, you need to know who we are a bit more. And I'm going to go last because I need some inspiration from you two. So, David, I'm going to go straight to you, mate. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Wow.
Maybe give your favorite game to stream or watch streaming. And
Lucky me to kick it off. I am Dave, and I am the main person. I say main person, one of the main people in Throwback Games. We focus on a lot of retro content, but we also mix it up with some new stuff. Favorite game? It's straight out of the bat. It's Gears of War. Easy
Good
peasy.
shout.
We've got no qualms about that. The reason that I got into gaming. We don't actually stream on the channel yet, which is quite disappointing. But some of the favorite games we've ever recorded, the Halo Reach, we played through that on Legendary, and just makes you tear up at the end, man. You know what I mean? Just makes you. But that weird one with the robot arm, the lady, she deserved to die, man. She made so many mistakes, so I blame Reach on her.
Yeah, I've got to admit, at the end of Reach, it truly defines what men cry over. Everyone says, like, oh, if you watch Field of Dreams, you know, that'll make you cry. No.
Oh yeah, it's changed me
But-
for life.
Yeah.
Changed me for life.
Luke.
I'm Luke.
Sorry,
no,
I'm Luke.
I got an handle. I don't stream. I play games though, so that's why me.
Play a lot of games. I mean,
Yeah.
for transparency, me and Luke have been friends since year 7 in UK school. If you're watching in the UK, in the US, I don't know what that is for you. But we must have been, what, 12, 13?
Yeah, it's about 11, 12, isn't it?
Yeah. And we're now
Yeah.
reaching the age of 30, so.
Yeah.
And ever since I've known Luke, he's been a massive gamer. And
I think
One
that's how we first bonded. That was
it
World
was
of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft.
Just had a sudden realization that I'm the oldest one in the room. Shit.
Go on, David, give us your age.
I'm 31, bro. So,
Oh, you're only a
That's
year.
not-
It's only a year.
Yeah, it's not that far off.
yeah, but I'm 32 next month, so I've got to hold on to that for as long as I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to be fair, I'm 31 this year, so we're around the same age. It's fine. You may
Oh,
look
you said
older.
approaching 30. That made me nervous. Like you were like 28 or something.
Oh.
I was about to be like, oh,
No.
I'm be your dad. But
No, I'm 30. Luke, you're 29?
I'm 29. I'm
Yeah.
30 in June.
There you go.
welcome.
We're all old.
Welcome.
Welcome to
My
the Player
hairline
Pulse.
says 40 though, so
Oh, same.
yeah.
My
Welcome to the
back
Player
says I
Pulse.
died 10 years ago. So it's
Yeah, welcome to the Player Pulse podcast, where soon all of us will have no pulse. We're that old.
It'll be hosted in retirement home.
Luke, you never said your favourite game.
Dragon Age Origins.
Nice. Good game.
I played it a lot. When I first got it, I played it for 3 days straight. I just couldn't put it down.
Yeah. See, I love Dragon Age Origins. I love Dragon Age Origins 2. Inquisition. Started playing the Veil Guard. I think the less said about that one, the better.
Yeah, it's so good.
But what I will say is, it's my expectations were really low, so actually, it surprised me. a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, mine weren't high at all.
that's my general ethos to life. You can never be disappointed. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Go on. Right, I'll let you know who I am because nobody's asked. Oh, James, go. You go.
Don't care, Paul.
I'm James. I am also known as Game Mirage on Twitch and TikTok. That's how me and David met, is via TikTok. We just started liking each other's stuff, and then
it's just two
Commented.
bros. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
yeah, we,
Bros looking at other bros stuff.
we were gonna work on a gaming news website, but life just got in the way. We thought, what's the next best thing? In fact, what's the better thing? A podcast. So when I first wanted to do it, I reached out to David, and he was like, "Yeah, let's do it, bro. Let's do it."
And then 7 months later, we're here.
We got there. So yeah, that's me. Favorite game. I think I've already said this a lot in my videos actually on TikTok. It's The Elder Scrolls Oblivion. And
Good game.
I had it on the PS3 when I first got that, because I sold my drum kit when I was younger to get a PS3. Played it, got all the trophies on it, and then got rid of my PS3 for 360 because all my friends, Luke and everyone, was on the 360. Bought it again, 1000 G'd it, DLC, Shivering Isles, Knights of the Nine, fucking the Horse Armor DLC,
the pinnacle of all microtransactions.
Yeah.
That's where live service games started, man, with that horse DLC. That's why we're in the situation we're in.
But it was a fucking good game. Not a good DLC, but good game.
There's the remaster coming.
There is, yeah. It was going to be one of my news picks.
Oh, sorry, dude.
No. It's not in this episode. I'll explain what it is before we get into the topic, but it was one of my news picks for one of the previous episodes we were planning, which we had to rearrange and push. But yeah, no, favorite game is Elder Scrolls Oblivion, and favorite game to stream,
Spyro.
That's a hard one, actually. Yeah, I'm currently going through a Spyro marathon. Yeah, playing through every single Spyro game that was released on console. I'm on the final game now. I'm on Legend of Spyro Dawn of the Dragon. I can now say it's not my favorite game.
Loves it so much. At the end of every session, he's always depressed.
Yeah, I started streaming at 15 stone. I've just gained weight because it just stresses me out. So, no, yeah, it's. I actually don't know, to be honest. In fact, I loved streaming PUBG, Luke, when we used to do it.
Yeah, it was
that
good.
was a really good one to stream. I know it's a battle royale, and I was like, oh my god, but it was just so fun. And actually, Fortnite Zero build is fun.
It's
unreal.
It's so much. Yeah, it's so much better.
Yeah,
and it's so chill as well. Because we're all getting old now. It's less demanding on the eyes.
Yeah.
I have a confession. I don't know if you guys still play Fortnite. I don't. I do.
Yeah.
I loaded into a build game and by accident, and my life flashed before my eyes, bro, man. I was just there, like, you know that William Dafoe meme when he's like looking up in the air. I was like, oh god, no. Yeah.
Mine's the one where it's like the dog who has Vietnam flashbacks. Whenever I see like how people like build so fast, I'm just like,
it's just not meant for me anymore. Build. I don't think it ever was, but
no, Zero build. I'm fine. I've got my Godzilla skin. I've been running around with an AK. It's sweet. I bought a few songs, so you'll sing some Toxicity from System of a Down. It's pretty hilarious. So yeah,
I'm actually a self-confessed demon on the controller Guitar Hero. Like,
okay,
I'm not even trying to burn my own horn here, but I'm usually top 1,000 on a lot of songs. So that's my claim to fame.
I struggle to get past hard on Guitar Hero, but we do have a friend. I'm not going to go too much into him, but he was insane to the point that I think he did like Through the Fire and Flames on like times 3 or 4 speed, and I think he rarely missed a note. In fact, I think he might have got 100%. I'm not sure. No, he wouldn't have, because I think that's only been done a few times. But
maybe one day we'll do a stream-a-thon.
That means at some point we're going to have to do a Fortnite, whatever you call it, festival.
Fortnite festival, bro.
We're going to have to do a live stream Fortnite festival. I'll sing. David, you can do the guitar.
I've got the new
don't think we need that.
The Riffmaster thing. It's pretty good.
See, I was going to buy the Riffmaster, but it costs like 100 odd quid, does it? Pounds.
Yeah, but I got it for Christmas, so it doesn't count. So.
Oh, fair. That's like man maths with money, isn't it? So
yeah.
Fair. Right. You all know us now, so we're going to move on, because once you know us, you'll get bored of us. So, with the Play Pulse podcast, I'm going to give you a rundown of how we're usually going to do the episode. This one's going to be slightly different. I'll tell you why in a minute. But usually, what we're going to do is all three of us are going to come with a video game related news story, which we think's interesting. We're not going to tell each other what that news story is, so it's going to be a complete surprise to us. We're just going to talk about it, digest it, and give our thoughts and kind of initial reactions on it. Then we're going to do a section about what games we've been playing. You've already heard that me and David are streamers, so we play quite a few games. Well, I'm a streamer. David's TikTok creator, who probably should be a streamer, to be honest. And and Luke is just Luke, but he's a massive gamer. He pretty much plays every game and all games when they get them. So we're going to do that. And then at the end of each episode, we're going to do a quiz. Each one of us is going to take it in turns to do a quiz. We don't know what the prize is, but we'll figure out some format of how many times we do said quiz and what the prize will be. So yeah, and you can join along as well. Give us let us know how many you got right in the comments section. If there's a frequent listener out there who keeps getting 10 out of 10, we might give you a prize. We might not.
Come and join the Fortnite lobby, baby.
Not again.
Oh, not again. Won't get into that one too much. But yeah, that's how the usual format's going to be. This one's completely different because we've managed to get this recording and hit it at the perfect time because Nintendo Direct has just been with the Switch 2 announcement. Well, it was already announced, but more in-depth view of the Switch 2. What it's going to be like, the specs it's going to have, the games that are going to be released with it initially on launch, and other components, which we'll get into a bit more. So, the first section, we're talking all things Switch 2. Then we're going to go into games that we've been playing. Then we're doing a quiz, which I'm going to do this time for Luke and David. So, Switch 2, it's finally been, more in-depth reveal this time. It was on Nintendo Direct, which I'm not going to say when it is because I don't know when this episode's actually going to go live. But initial thoughts on this. Pre-order has just gone from when we're recording this. The game's going to be released I believe it's the 6th of May. So next month.
No, 4th of June. 4th of June, bro.
Is it the 4th of June? Because I'm on the Nintendo website now and it says available 6th of May.
Interesting.
Unless 5th of June, I'm looking at this from a UK perspective with the dates. So in the UK, we have the day of the month, and then the year. So yeah, it must be 5th of June. I apologize.
By the way.
Those dang Americans.
Bastards. But yeah, Switch 2's come in. It's bigger, it's bolder, it has up to 4K resolution in the dock. And it's, for me, 120 FPS, which finally, but we'll get into more of that. But I want to just get David and Luke's initial reaction on this. So David, you've already pre-ordered the damn thing, so...
Now listen, I wasn't going to because they brought it out early, but then Curry's were doing in the shop pre-orders, so I went and did it. Do I have buyer's remorse? Yes. Will it still be there? I don't know. I've had loads of Switches in the past, but I feel this one is one that can sort of at least compete now. You know what I mean? Like, you could only play Nintendo games on the old Switch, really, because if you tried to run anything else, it would run like, I don't know, a block of cheese. It's just awful.
Hot potato.
Yeah, just awful. So I am excited. I think it's good. I think it's like, when you get to that part in adult life as well, I think it is the easiest console to have when you're commuting to work, when you've got friends around. It's when you're fucking bored of talking to them. You can just be like, should we play Mario Kart? And then we can all really hate each other. But no, I'm excited. I'm optimistic. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, the more I've watched Nintendo Direct, the more I've seen of the games that are going to be released, the features that are included in Nintendo Switch 2. I'm going to stop calling it Nintendo Switch 2 and call it Switch 2. And some of the games as well, and some of the additional online stuff you get with it. I'm actually getting more and more excited for Switch 2. I might try and pre-order it this weekend if Curry's still have some available. Curry's is a UK outlet for those in the US or wherever you're listening to the world. But yeah, I'm quite hyped. I mean, I've had a Switch Lite. I didn't really want to invest too much in the normal Switch. So I've had a Switch Lite because I wanted something handheld, something I could play because I travel a lot for work, and like you said, something commutes as well. But it's never gripped me. But I think that's because I'm just a sucker for kind of like that raw power when it comes to consoles. So when you have it in a handheld, because I was looking at getting a Steam Deck, because that's probably the equivalent of what it is now, because some of the specs you're getting on this is similar to a Steam Deck. I'm hyped for it. I'm hyped. And because I haven't played too many Nintendo games in the past, I've now got a whole backlog to kind of sink my teeth into. And we'll get more into the other backlogs later on. But Luke, thoughts?
It's just a more polished Switch. That's all it is. It's just a better Switch. That's all. They've just fine-tuned it, and they've been completely transparent about it, to be fair. And they've just gone, hey, this is Switch 2. It's just a better Switch.
I love how you play devil's advocate.
That's all it is.
I almost don't think it is devil's advocate in a way, because the Switch knows what it is. You know what I mean? It was never supposed to compete with the PlayStation or the Xbox. Now it just moves it a bit closer. So in the future, if they want to try something a bit more outlandish, it's maybe got the horsepower to do it.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have been right, like you said, if they came out and said, oh, it's totally different. Because it's still going to do, like you said, it's just simple things like even the Joy-Cons being magnetic rather than that stupid. I know you get the very nice when you do it, but yeah.
For me, the one thing that always put me off the Switch, and again, I had the Switch Lite, so obviously it's a different experience if you have the actual Switch that you could dock, was the frame rate issues. And it became very apparent when you were playing more demanding games. Breath of the Wild, you had it sometimes on the Lite. Tears of the Kingdom, you had it a little bit. And for me, the most recognizable one was Fall Guys when that came on the Switch. Because I loved Fall Guys when it was first released. I streamed it a lot. And I thought, I can now play this when I'm going traveling. It's a really good game just to kind of mess about with. It's nothing too intense. When I played that, it was just so jittery. So now to see the Switch 2, like you said, it is just a polished Switch, but it's upgraded. To have that 120 frames per second is fantastic for me. Oh, is it 120 frames per second or 120 hertz screen?
No, 120 FPS, yeah.
Okay.
I think the thing that got me in all of that was when I was watching it, and it said that Cyberpunk is coming on it, and I was like, "You what?"
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, Cyberpunk, the Phantom Liberty full thing is coming on Switch, and I was like,
"Well, that then just shows the power of the Switch 2 to run a game like that." Because there were rumors beforehand that this console was going to compete with like the PS4 Pro in terms of graphics. Everyone was like, "Not a fucking chance." But actually, that is the realms.
I mean, if you're going around Night City mobile and it's not playing
when
like
it was
a
released.
pile of rubber. Yeah, if it's not like it was released, that's a massive achievement, especially for a Nintendo console. So,
yeah. What I do like as well, actually, whenever Nintendo releases a new console, they always have something unique as part of their one of their features. And this one's quite a subtle one. And I don't know how it's going to be mass introduced if it is. I don't know if it's going to be one of those dual sense kind of motion sensors when the PS3 first released. But with the joysticks where you can have them kind of like a mouse and sensors where you can put it on the desk and doing the hand movement so people can see. That's really cool. And when they showed it in the disabled wheelchair basketball game, it looked cool. It looked really cool.
It looked tiring. What it looked.
Well, that's Switch for you. I mean, that's Nintendo for you, sorry, not Switch. But I like how they introduced something different each time that I've never really seen before in other consoles.
Yeah, is it not just gimmicky though?
Well, my first...
It's like when the Kinect first came out, everyone was like, oh, this is going to be sick. And then it was shite.
Do you remember that Star Wars game on Kinect? Yeah.
I'm Han Solo. I'm Han Solo.
God.
I'm Han Solo.
I think I agree that it's sort of like a gimmick, but at the same time, I think if it's utilized well, like I love Civilization. That's a game where I can just be like, I can just 2 hours. Really? It's been 5 minutes. So the mouse on that, it could be quite cool, but I also feel because it's so tiny, that you're going to get like Devil's Claw trying to hold it for that long. But
what they're in itself determines if it's innovative or a gimmick, is how it's mass introduced. Still waiting to see, but I feel like from that initial game preview and clips and kind of some of the other stuff I've seen online with people experiencing it themselves, I'm optimistic with it. I hope they mass introduce it into games. But saying that as well, you have to find that balance of people are going to play controller, people are going to play handheld. Like, how can you mass introduce something like this if there's so many different like formats to play it in?
Put it in a Mario game. Everyone will do it then.
True.
Well, they've introduced it to that Jamboree, haven't they?
Yeah.
To what, sorry?
The Mario Party Jamboree.
Oh, yeah.
So they've updated it for the Switch 2, and it's got all these implements with new controllers.
Okay, so it'd be interesting to see how, because I know they're enhancing more and more games from the Switch collection to Switch 2. It might be another thing you might see in the Zelda titles as well.
I'm not a fan of that, though.
What? Is it like the George Lucas-esque way keeps revamping, kind of regenerating his films?
No, it's more like you have to pay for the upgrade.
Yeah, that's obscene. I think that's something
You've already bought the game, and then I don't know what the price will be, but it's probably going to be like 10 quid.
I think with Nintendo, you'd be looking more than that, in my opinion.
20, 30 pounds. Yeah. On that though, because you've kind of moved over to some games, I'm not going to go into kind of the enhanced versions yet. We can touch on that later. But they did showcase Mario Kart World.
It looks good.
It looks really good. And it's free roam, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that just adds another layer to me. David, your thoughts, because you're getting a Switch too. Did you get the
I got the
Mario
pack
World
edition, yeah, because I refused to pay 75 quid for Mario Kart. But
that's another thing which is I
that's
wanted
valid.
But,
cool. Yeah, I mean, I think it's Mario Kart. You know what you're going to get. You're going to have some fun. I think now that like Nintendo Online actually works as well, you can properly utilize it, because when the original Switch launched, it was a hell on earth. But now you can actually have like game chat and speak to people, and I can really rub it into the 12-year-old that I've just pounded into the ground at Mario Kart that I'm better. So I think that's good. I think Donkey Kong that was shown as well. That looks very good. But it is the price point. I think that is it's the only bad thing they did. If you notice through the whole direct, they didn't mention price at all. They waited until after it was done. It's like, oh, good, you like that? Is this?
Yeah, the price for everything included, kind of within Switch 2, is eye-wateringly high. One of my fears, the console itself, I'm not too fussed about. If you actually look at Steam Deck and how that's priced, like it's around the same price, and you're getting a company with very strong IPs and have a lot of longevity. And my only issue is, Nintendo have been a pain for this since I've ever known them, well, personally, is their price points are just so high. They've always been high. The price never really comes down on games unless you buy them secondhand, which is why I love physical. But £80 or £70-80 for Mario Kart, what I hope doesn't happen is Sony and Xbox and Microsoft see this and think that's the new industry price point. Because it's a concern with the rumors of GTA 6 coming out. It's that it was going to be £100 game. Well, Mario Kart was just taking that step up. So if you're paying that much for Mario Kart and people will mass buy it and maybe sell out for a period of time, why wouldn't, say, like a Rockstar do that for GTA 6 for £100? Because they know it's going to sell.
Yeah, I suppose, but if it's a really good product, I'd pay the price. Like GTA, if it comes out, it's 100 quid. I'm probably going to buy it because I know it's going to be a really solid product.
See, GTA 6 is going to be the FOMO of why I'll buy it straight away. I don't want anything spoiled for it. I can't speak there. Don't want it spoiled for me. I want to play it on release. I want to experience when other people are experiencing it at the same time. Would I buy Borderlands 4 for £100 when that comes out? Not a chance. For me, I think £60 is kind of steep as is. I know there's more investment into games now and more technology gone into them, so it has to warrant that. More hands on deck, even though they get fired literally as soon as they do the game anyway. More hands on deck to make the game. I understand that point, but games for everyone. I think like that £50 limit is kind of where I am. I know I'm just a 30-year-old now with nostalgia eyes. £80 is steep, and I feel like you're going to get the new Animal Crossing game that'll come out because I'm going to want to play that. You're going to get the new Zelda game when that comes out. Like, I'm going to want to play that. New Mario games, aside from Mario Kart, like all these IPs, you're going to want to play them, but you're not going to be able to afford 80 game a pop.
It's what, like you said, it's what Nintendo have always done, innit? When I pre-ordered this today, they're still saying Mario Kart 1, £56 brand new. Or Mario Kart 8, sorry, on the Switch. Yeah. I think gaming in general is going to go that way. Like, if you look at like the history and everything, the pricing hasn't been that outrageously like increased for it's like very slowly, but I get that how crazy the world is at the minute. You know, am I going to go and buy the new Donkey Kong game, or am I going to feed my family? It's a very one-sided choice, isn't it? The family are going hungry because I'm going to be playing as a monkey, baby. But it just prices people out of the game. Like you said, I think GTA is the exception to any rule that you put on this podcast, because no matter what the price is, I think a lot of people are just going to go out and play it because, like you said, it's the FOMO. The part of the biggest entertainment launch in history, and you're not going to want to see it spoiled on Twitter or X or YouTube or whatever.
Yeah. And funnily enough, we're saying it's £80. Thankfully, we're not Donald Trump and we're not tariffing Japan 24%. US, though, you may have to pay a little bit more. I know they've delayed the pre-orders there. I'm unsure how that tariff thing will hit them. Hopefully not. But I'm pretty sure kind of technology is under their tariffs. So we'll wait and see on that one. I did say we have sections what we need to get to, but I do want to talk about, and we've talked about physical games and how I love them. Throwback, you're a fan of them. Luke, fan of them?
Physical games?
Yeah.
I like getting cheap games.
There we go. Fan of physical. But I think the thing that really actually annoys me with the Switch 2, I might be wrong in this. I hope I'm wrong, so you can all correct me. Their cartridges that they've got, still the same size as the Switch. However, you have to download the game onto the Switch. So, are you actually owning something physical there? Like, I need to know a bit more about that. It's a case of you buy the game secondhand, you get it back again. But it's this kind of concept of, we're now moving away from like physical media where you just put a disc in and play it. I've now got to put the cartridge in and download it and wait for that download to be able to play the game. I understand it might create better performance. I understand you can't fit so much on a little cartridge. Why they insist on doing cartridges, I do not know. But that is a pain point for me.
I don't think you're wrong, because my friend messaged me about it as well. I think if there's any sort of restriction on it, it's a massive howler. You remember what was E3 when Xbox did it? And they went, oh, you have to be online to play your games and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And they just lost that whole generation straight away there. So I don't think there would be a restriction on it. But I get it. It is annoying, and you lose the sense of it.
I understand why they do it if they're sticking down the cartridge route, because they were saying like the Switch would hold about 7 games. The Switch 2 can hold 5 times, 6 times that amount. Like, well, I'm just like, it can, but if you're creating these bigger games that you need us to install onto the portal via the cartridge, then there's a reason for that. It's because the games are too big, and the bigger the games, the bigger storage it takes. So you're saying it can hold 5, 6 times the amount. Well, the reality is it's probably not the case. unless
can
you're talking
have
about indie games.
10 copies of Kirby with your Cyberpunk, and that's it, I'm afraid.
Yeah. 2 Mario Worlds, you're out. But okay. There's a lot more that we could dissect on with Switch 2, but we hit the 30-minute mark. Final thoughts on this, Luke?
It's just a better Switch.
Just a better Switch.
I tell you what I do like though. I do like that the returning all the console classic games and stuff from like the GameCube and stuff like that.
I wanted to mention that, so thank you so much.
Big fan of that.
Yeah. Well, annoyingly, behind this fan here, I've just bought a Indigo GameCube with a handful of games, so I was gonna get those physical collections. I still am. However, seeing the likes of Zelda, Wind Walker, and all those other titles, you had Mario, Luigi's Mansions on there as well.
Gale of Darkness, man.
Again, I want to experience these games, and to do it on handheld, and they've been kind of upscaled and refreshed, so they run a lot smoother. I am actually excited about that, even though I've just had a massive go about playing online, physicals dying, blah blah blah, because of the cartridges. I'm actually looking forward to being able to play the backlog of Nintendo's catalogs, because again, I rarely experience Nintendo games because it's not a console I grew up with. Now, if I get a Switch 2, which I probably will do, I've got decades of games to catch up with and decades of IPs to experience and explore. That's cool. I like that. And I do like how they're enhancing their online store, but also kind of the online experience. Because when I first saw that you can now game chat, well, we've been fucking game chatting since 360 days. Like, nothing new. You can now include a webcam. Been able to do that for a while. But bringing that into the handheld world and modernizing it, I'm excited over the little things which should already be in there, but you have to realize it's Nintendo and it's a handheld console. 30% of the time, docked 70% of the time, and then gimmick the 5 or 6%. There's my roundup. I'm not going to waffle too much. David, final thoughts.
Ask me in 2 months when it comes out to this day, and I've had a day with it. But I'm optimistic. It's gonna shatter sales in it. So
are you optimistic? Because you had buyer's remorse 30 minutes
ago.
ago.
But I'm on that flip flop. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm back around.
We talked about it for a bit. I'm like, okay, maybe I made the right decision. I'll wake up tomorrow and be like, but I think it'll be good. And from Nintendo's perspective, it's a no-brainer, and it'll sell millions. So apart from America, unlucky. So
blame Donald. Cool. Right, we'll wrap up that section and we'll move on now, because we are now going to be talking about games that we've been recently playing. Like I mentioned at the start, I'm a streamer. David does content for TikTok and plays a lot of games for it. Luke's just an avid gamer who games all his life. So we're going to talk about the games that we've been playing. I will go first because I went last at the start, and it's a bit awkward for you all to ask me, what have you been playing? I've been playing Atomfall. I was hyped for Atomfall because obviously when the trailers first came out, it had that had that England Fallout experience. Playing the game, it's completely different to kind of Fallout. Am I enjoying it? I was for about 5-ish hours until I hit one of those points where the game became less about intrigue, about mystery, about following the leads. It then became a game of, you have to collect these. Oh, spoiler alert for anyone. If you haven't got this far yet, you've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have to collect atom batteries. You have to collect 4 or 5 of them around the whole map. You don't know where they are, so you need to go scavenge around for them. And at that point, I was just like, I don't have the fucking energy or time for this. However, kind of cool seeing Cumbria in there.
I think the setting is very appealing.
I'd say
that's
that,
what
but
drawn me towards it. But
as a Lancashireman, hearing the Cumbrian accent, I heard it for the first time with an old man when I exited the bunker and I instantly shot him with a shotgun. I was like, nope. But it's okay. Have either of you played it? If you haven't, have you got any intrigue of playing it?
I did. I don't know.
You're a man of few words, like.
No, I watched some gameplay videos and stuff, and like I said, the setting really intrigued me. That sort of post-apocalyptic, sort of like World War II-esque Britain.
Mm-hmm.
Is really intriguing as a setting, but it just seemed a bit outlandish. Like I was hoping it'd be quite grounded, but it's quite sort of wacky and silly in certain ways.
It is and it isn't. It has that grounded feel to it. I mean, mechanics in the game are crap. Like, the stuff is crap. But it isn't as wacky as you think. It has some of that futuristic elements with some, like, robots. And then you've got... In fact, I think the best way to actually describe it is not like Fallout. It is a shitter version of Far Cry.
You've sold it.
With intrigue and kind of mystery and stealth.
Okay.
A shitter Far Cry? No.
I'm going to go to Games Pass now and download it.
Well, that's perfect. It was on Game Pass. But I feel like it's more closely resembles that than it actually does to Fallout. But give it credit because it is Sniper Elite developers' most successful game. So it's done something right. So that's what I've been playing. And I will be getting onto Legend of Spyro Dawn of the Dragon at some point. There we go. David, hit me up.
Two wonderful games. Well, one of them is Baldur's Gate. I'm deep in it. Baldur's Gate 3. I'm in the mixer.
What are you in?
Well, I'm the furthest I've ever got now. So I've just killed spoilers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're back in the room.
General Thorn, whatever his name is, he's gone.
Okay.
I got an achievement for killing him without him sacrificing a skeleton, which I thought, why not? So I've just done that. I've got to the city, and now I can't figure out where I've got to go. So I'm about to Google that when I play next, and we'll see what happens. Because that has been my savior for that, unfortunately.
Did you have sex with the bear?
I did not. I went with what everyone's commonplace choice should be, which is Shadowheart. Let's be honest. It's just she's changed her hair. She's come back. She's had a nice little do. So yeah, I mean, the first time I played it, because I played it on PlayStation first, which is a very good way to play it, by the way. It's excellent on PlayStation, and
I prefer it on PlayStation.
Yeah, I was there like, oh, this is sick. And then I started to play D&D out of Baldur's Gate, and I was there like, you go back and you're like, wow, this is incredible. Not just sick, it's like, it's actually incredible. And my friend's just started playing it as well. So he's just gone through the Goblin Camp, and he's like, how'd you do this? How'd you do this? I'm like, well, this is the way I did it, but there's like a million other ways you could do it, sort of thing. So yeah, just what a great game. You know what I mean? Like, no bloody battle pass, no live service features, anything like that.
It's the most complete. It's the most complete game I've ever played, and even with the added updates and the stuff they've introduced, like they've introduced where you can make your own campaign, like your own D&D campaign in it. It's brilliant, and those updates, which people would have charged for, were free, and people would have charged for them, people would have paid for them, but they give it free. I'll give Larian Studios so much credit. They are a brilliant studio. Divinity 1, Divinity 2, fantastic games. Like, if you're into Baldur's Gate, anyone out there and you've not played the Divinity series, play them. You'll love them. Baldur's Gate 3. I feel so bad that I've not got past I've just got to Act 3, and I've not played any more yet, because other games and times just can't take my attention. But my wife is obsessed with Baldur's Gate 3. Obsessed. Like, she's an Astarian person.
Yeah.
I know. But she has played through the campaign so many times, she's doing an honor run on it, and the only time I've seen her hooked on a game like that is Skyrim, which is another brilliant game, and no one can say otherwise. But it's just a beautifully complete game, and I feel like every studio out there should be looking at Larian and being like, that's what we need. That's what we need to achieve for players. That level of detail, that level of accomplishment.
It's a game made for gamers by gamers, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And they respect the gamers, respect the consumers. They don't try and milk them for every penny they've got. They just want to make good games, and it shows.
Again, Luke, man of little words, but straight to the point and bang on. Well done, bud.
And on the flip side of that wonderful game company, I jumped back in time yesterday.
Okay.
I jumped back into Verdansk.
Okay.
And I was there.
He's looking at his watch now, playing. Please just fucking end this podcast
now. No. I tell you what. It took me back to a time when you couldn't talk to anyone. You finish work at 2 p.m. You'd go out in the sun. We're all fighting over toilet roll, and it was good because you're on with the boys. You know what I mean? But I still stand by the fact that Warzone would not be as popular or got anywhere without COVID because we didn't have anything else to play. And it was just that it was free. Everyone could do it. It was easily accessible. But I went back on and I had moderate amount of fun. I give it a strong 6. But
there's the moderate.
But I also feel that it's going to die off real quick. And I think that'll be the end of Warzone. So
I tend to agree with you. I mean, I played Black Ops 6 when it was first launched, and I had actually quite a lot of fun. Luke, me and you played it. We played Nuketown and stuff, and I enjoyed it. But I don't know if it's just me, but the issue with those type of games is it doesn't retain me. I've got no retention to keep returning to it and kind of commit to leveling my leveling up, prestiging, if that's still a fucking thing in Call of Duty. I've got no intrigue of it, so like once I stop playing it for a period of time, I won't go back to it. Warzone was kind of a similar one for me, but I feel like I never got hooked to it as much as others did, and other people I know. But if I was to play it, well, I'm saying if I was to play it, it would be during this Verdansk phase. But they did the same thing with OG Fortnite for Zero Build. Like they went back to Chapter 1. I thought, oh yes, this would be cool. I went back to Chapter 1. I was like, it feels like a shell of the game now. It used to be. What that it is now.
I think that's
like back to
Oh, go on, mate. Sorry.
No, I was going to say it's like going back from retail Warcraft to classic Warcraft. I mean, classic is a fantastic experience and it is the OP experience. Yeah. But you become accustomed to so many different things.
There's so many quality of life sort of implements that they've added through the years that when you go back, you're just like, whoa, what's happened?
I think the last Warcraft thing I was on where you could play as a panda.
Mr. Pandera.
Yeah, that's when I was like, oh, this might be a bit too much for me now. So,
I managed to call my my panda shaman Poe.
Wow.
So
I was in a monk.
Because I've never played as like a shaman before, so I expect a shaman. But fuck you, man. I'm playing as Kung Fu Panda.
Don't ruin his immersion, for God's sake.
You're not Kung Fu Panda, you're just Panda.
Right, well, Luke, what have you been playing? We have to go to you now. After that snarky comment.
Don't be upset, mate. I've been playing also 2 games this week. I've been playing Bleach Rebirth of Souls. Just came out.
Okay.
It's an anime game of the show Bleach. It's pretty good. The story's pretty good. It's a bit slow for me though. The fighting's really good because it's a fighting game.
I've never gone into Bleach or the anime kind of world, so you're gonna have to give me a bit more than it's an anime game. It's a fighting game. It's okay.
No, that's basically what it is. So it's set obviously on the anime Bleach and follows the story of that anime. But it's more like the Dragon Ball games, like the Dragon Ball Super and stuff like that. It's sort of similar to that, where it's got the main story you can do, which is like the anime story, and then there's like online and stuff you can do. But the combat's really good. It's just everything just feels really nice. It feels like there's powers to your punches and stuff like that. It's just all around pretty good. So I've just been sort of dabbling in that. And then I've been playing a game called Foundation.
Foundation.
Really good. It's a sort of a medieval city sim.
I'm going to do a thing now, everyone. I'm going to Google Foundation.
Yeah,
It's like Joe Rogan. Pull it up.
Yeah, get on the screen. If I remember correctly, it started as a Kickstarter. But yeah, they've brought out this game. It's really sort of like cute artsy style game. It's just really nice to play. It's such a relaxing game.
Single player only.
Yeah,
nice.
But you don't really have to do any combat or anything like that. You just sort of like trying to please your citizens. You're trying to progress your society. There's like sort of benchmarks you have to hit and stuff to unlock more stuff.
So it's like a cute Anno.
Yeah, it's just a very cozy game. And you don't really have to think about it. I could just building my town, making some people happy.
Well, Steam have given it a mostly positive for recent reviews, and all reviews very positive. So
it is a really good game.
I might start joining you on that, because actually it does look quite fun. This is why we do what we've been playing. It's not for your benefit, viewers or listeners. It's for our benefit to find new games.
I missed one. Sorry. Repo.
Oh, Repo.
Get on it. Play it. It's just so good. You need mates to do it. By yourself, it's terrible. But
see, me and you were supposed to play it one night, but I had childcare issues, and by childcare issues, he would not go to sleep. So I did play it single player, and for people who should know a bit more about me, I'm an absolute wimp. I'm a wimp. I hate horror. I hate horror films, horror games. My heart rate goes through the roof. Like,
just get flashbacks of when we used to go to the cinema.
Yeah, me and Luke went to watch, was it The Woman in Black? Yeah. And even that film isn't that scary. Hate it. So I played Repo. So I left David hanging. And I was like, oh, this is quite eerie, but at the same time a bit goofy. So I might be able to get into this. And then all of a sudden I smashed something because of the physics on it, which is pretty cool, I gotta admit. And then some old man with a shotgun just burst out somewhere and shot me. I was like, shit myself. And I thought, right, I'll give it another go. That floating head. That floating head was creepy.
Yeah.
Like, because it does, I think you have to be in its line of sight for it to see you or something. Like, and I was just searching a locker, and I turned around, and it's just floating past me. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, man. It's good fun.
Yeah, I do want to get into a session with a group of people, with yourself, David, to play that a bit more and experience it. But, I mean, it's hit the streaming world by storm. I don't know if it's still as popular now.
I think it's still pretty high up on the charts, isn't it?
We're going to do another Joe Rogan and do a Twitch check.
That and Schedule 1.
Schedule 1?
Oh, yeah. You've not seen that. It's where you create your own drug empire. Schedule 1 is the top seller at the minute, and Repo's fourth.
Wow. Oh, yeah, there's still 31.9 viewers for Repo on Twitch. 51.8 thousand followers. Mental. Yeah, I need to give that another bash. What was the other one? The drug one?
Schedule 1.
Schedule 1.
We'll join Steam families after this, and you can play it, because my friend downloaded it. He's on mine, and he says it's pretty good. So
okay. We have overshot this segment, so to round off, we are going to be doing a quiz. And like I said, I'm going to be doing this quiz. And how it's going to work, I have a top 10 chart from IGN. I apologize, it's IGN. But we went for a bigger, well-known, well, I did anyway, news outlet to get this list. There will be some controversies on this list, but it's the top 10 RPG games of all time.
Jesus Christ.
Now, we're going to, because we don't want this to rumble, there's 10 you have to get. So, you both get 4. You both get 5 attempts to get them. If there's a draw at the end, we'll do the 11th game. I think that works. We're just going to do it anyway and see how we go. Okay? Right. So, top 10 RPG games according to IGN of all time.
Can I just pull something up? I'm joking, don't worry.
Yeah, as long as it's not IGN. Luke, show me your hands. Jazz hands. There we go. Right, keep them in webcam view, please, people. Right. In fact, I'm going to let David go first, mainly because me and him have been trying to do this podcast for so long, and Luke, you thankfully joined us at the last minute. So, David, you go first.
Skyrim.
Skyrim is 4th on the list. So, 1 point to David. Luke?
Oblivion.
Oblivion is not on the list.
What? Oblivion was way better than Skyrim.
David?
Fallout 4.
Fallout 4 is not on the list. There's no other Bethesda games on the list.
Oh.
Luke?
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate, be most precise,
3.
is not on the list.
What? Fucking IGN, man.
But is it Baldur's Gate 2?
It is Baldur's Gate 2, Shadows.
You sort of gave that away, to be fair.
Well, that's why I told you to be a bit more precise. I don't know what you want me to do. It's number 1 on the list, which surprised me.
Is it just console games?
No, I don't think so. So, 2-0 to David. Luke?
Legend of Zelda.
Be more precise.
Breath of the Wild.
Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is not on the list, and there's no Zeldas on the list, so don't worry about it.
The ones that have to be
It's just
specific.
What a bait, man. What a bait.
Troll you all over.
KOTOR.
KOTOR is not on the list.
What the fuck?
IGN, man. You don't know nothing.
Okay, Luke, I'm going to give you a clue because I feel like I've pulled the rug under you twice now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've already mentioned this game at the start of the podcast.
World of Warcraft.
Not RPG.
That's an RPG.
It's an MMO.
RPG. Dragon Age Origins.
Yes, that's on the list, number 9. 2-1 to Luke. We'll keep going, actually, because we've got a bit more time. I set the rules for this, so we can revamp it later. And we've only got 3.
Fable 2.
Is not on the list.
What?
No.
Really looking forward to the new one, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
That's the game I am hyped for.
Until it gets delayed about 1,000 times after it's got delayed once.
Yep.
But there's no Fable on the list.
That's crazy.
Luke? Think of... There's a few... there's 2 on here which are really obvious.
The Witcher 3.
Yes.
Nice.
That is number 3 on the list. So 2-2.
Pile of shit.
I love The Witcher 3.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Not on the list, but you are in the right area for the style of game for one of these games.
Oh, I think I know
Final
what it is.
Fantasy 7
is on the list. It's
Nice.
number 5, and Luke's pulled it back, so it's 3-2. So what we're going to do now is you're both going to get 3 more attempts.
This is riveting stuff.
3 more attempts, and then we'll see who has the most, and then we'll reveal the rest of the list. So 3-2 to Luke. David?
I forget that. Am I allowed to Google again? Because I
No.
forgot the name of it, but I know the cover.
What are you Googling?
Just the. I think I just need to Google the system that it's on and RPG, because then I think I'll get it.
There's a lot of trust in here. So yes.
Trust me, if I cheat, it's on me, and I'll go to bed a hollow victory.
It's a lot. There's a lot of keys there.
That literally didn't help me at all. It's just brought up a bunch of crap. Right. So, oh no, that's okay. Xenoblade Chronicles
is well done. It's not on the list.
Oh my god! All right,
When you're there.
Okay, Luke.
I just can't think of any RPGs all of a sudden. Monster Hunter Wilds
is not on the list. So you got 2 left each.
Mass Effect 2
is on the list at number 6.
Was a good game, to be fair.
3 all. Right. Luke, you go for your next one, because then is it 1 each then? Yeah?
Yeah.
1 left, and then I'll give you all a clue to the remaining ones.
Any RPG ever. Or popular ones, at least.
Bring your mic closer to you, Luke. Because while you're thinking, we want to hear those thoughts.
They're not great thoughts.
Single word thoughts.
Yep. It's just the wind howling. I can't think of any RPGs. Damn it. Mass Effect 1.
It is well done.
Yeah.
It's not on the list.
Oh, bastard.
Right, you've got 1 each left. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read the remaining ones. I'm going to read the synopsis that IGN have given it. Just the first sentence, because it doesn't reveal the game's title. Okay? So you're missing number 2 on the list. And he says, celebrated for its exceptional writing and philosophical narrative, it stands out as a unique RPG experience. And because I didn't give too much away, it's 2 words. The game title is 2 words, and the second word is torment. That might be a big clue. The other one you're missing is number 7. And it says, a time-traveling RPG that has captivated players with its engaging story and innovative combat system. You're missing number 8, which is dripping with style and backed by an earworm of a soundtrack. It offers top of its genre gameplay for the JRPG series.
Oh.
And number 10...
So until that last part, I was there like, oh no.
Number 10, a unique blend of noir detective fiction and traditional pen and paper games, offering a twisting plot and massive depth of choice.
Disco Elysium
is number 10 on the list. Yeah. Okay, so it's 4-3, Luke.
I've literally no idea.
I will tell you now, you're going to hear one of these and think, shit, I knew that.
Is it current gen?
That
makes me think it's not.
I think it's last, but I do know the series recently released a game. Let me just double check. It is current gen.
Current gen.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't classed Elden Ring as one, have they?
No.
Yeah.
I say this, Luke, because again, you've mentioned kind of the same type of game within this conversation, this podcast.
Persona?
Give me a bit more.
Persona 5?
Royale? is on the list. We got there, and we are actually tied as well. So that's 4-4. Shit, now we do actually need a tiebreaker. So
shot yourself in the foot here, mate.
No, yeah. So I don't know what the tiebreaker is going to be.
Pull out Chris Tarrant, getting out here.
Right. Okay. Actually, we'll do the. Okay. We've done the top 10, and we've 2 off. I don't want to keep going through this again. So, if someone can tell me what in the top 100 list, what the 100th game is.
100th game. What the
It's narrowed it down for me. So,
is it a popular game? Will I know the game?
You know the game. I know you know the game, and I'll give you clues before you have a guess. Developed by Sony Online Entertainment. I believe is an MMO. Released in 1999. And was probably the major inspiration behind World of Warcraft, which probably helps Luke out more than David.
EverQuest?
You're saying EverQuest. David, what are you saying?
You know what? I think I've lost. So I'm going to say Crash Bandicoot. All right. So.
And the correct answer is actually Crash Bandicoot. It's EverQuest. Yeah, it's EverQuest. It's EverQuest. So, a fucking anticlimactic. I'll need to work on this quiz, but anticlimactic.
Just to let you know,
don't refer to IGN.
When it's my turn, James, I'll be just making sure that, that the questions are heavily skewed towards me and me alone on that. This will really help, Luke, not Dave, but this will really help.
I honestly, I didn't know what to do. I didn't think we'd get to a tiebreaker, to be perfectly honest.
What were the other two on that list?
The others on that list were number 7, you had Chrono Trigger. And number 2, you had Planescape Torment.
Never heard of it, mate.
For me, that top 10 list is actually crap anyway.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Which is why I didn't think we'd have a tiebreaker.
How is it not Kingdom Hearts on that top 10? That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, on that shit end, this has been the first episode of the Player Pulse podcast. Thank you for everyone for listening. Like I said, we're going to be doing this bi-weekly because we're just all busy bees. We can't do it weekly. But I think it went well. Luke, David, happy? Excited for the journey?
Some sad trumpets playing over that ending, if that's all right.
It will be 2 weeks' time. You're still going to be salty, aren't you?
No, I'll just look at my Switch receipt. That'll make me depressed instead, so it's fine. Don't worry.
Perfect. Right, we'll round up the podcast. Again, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in for this first episode. If you made it through this hour, really appreciate it. We will be back in the next 2 weeks to do this once again. But if you can't wait that long and you want to see more of myself or David, you can follow me or game_mirage on TikTok and Twitch. You can follow David Dodson, # or otherwise known as Throwback Games on TikTok, and you can just wait 2 weeks for Luke. But apart from that,
if you want to see me, I live at no.
Don't do that. The fans will be there. No, this has been the Player Pulse podcast, and we will see you all in 2 weeks. Thank you so much. Tune in next time.
See ya.
Bye.